Five things off the wall.
That's us, man. 24/7.
You should expect the unexpected. I mean,
Make it known that this is all about being 100% authentic.
We are live now.
So, with that being said, let's jump right in. Yo, welcome to another episode of Five Things Off the Wall. It is January of 2021. We've been going for a minute, but you know what? We're back. Yo, I'm excited about being here today. I am your guy, D Wills. Who we got with us?
Same people that are always here, Eric. Golly, man.
This is your girl C Mac.
hey,
I'm trying to get
Yes.
in this. Y'all go.
peace,
Go
beautiful
ahead.
people. It's your boy Dev, man. Welcome back. Thank you for having us again.
Hey, man. Thank y'all for sticking with us. I know we've been gone for a long time. It's your boy Walt. I missed you, baby.
Hey,
Yeah.
y'all.
Yeah, Walt took us down to NO just then. I miss you, baby.
You
All right.
So y'all, of course we've been off for the season, but just because people are missing us and we've been missing them, and just to think about what have you been doing during your quarantine. So real quick, we only got a few minutes. We want to get things going. So what are some things you guys watched while you were, on your seasonal break? I know people have been kind of talking about different things. So have you guys been watching some good shows or movies? What have you been doing?
So
I've been binging a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, me too.
Yeah. Yeah.
I watched
Gambit.
I watched the Queen's Gambit. You know what I'm saying? I watched
Okay.
Bridgerton.
Bridgerton.
Yes, I have not watched that yet. I'm only on episode 3.
Bridgerton was kind of dope. I watched that.
So y'all know me, I'm old
Okay.
school. I watch the same old movies that I watched before. So I watched I'm Gonna Get You Sucker a couple of times. I've watched old episodes of Martin.
What?
Yeah,
So nothing new?
I watched a couple of new things, but I like old stuff. I like old school, traditionally black movies, like
JD's Revenge.
like JD's Revenge. No lie. If I'd have found JD's Revenge, I'd have watched it. I watched the entire Dolomite series. I watched Dolomite, Petey Wheatstraw, all of that, man. It was just the greatest thing ever.
So I've never seen the
Don't play.
Dolomite series. Never seen JD's Revenge.
Okay.
I'll give you a pass on JD's Revenge, but we're gonna have to talk about that Dolomite. You know business, Bond. Insecure.
Yeah, Walt didn't know about JD's Revenge.
I didn't either.
Now I've heard of it, but I've never seen it. See, for me, I mean, I watched some good things. I watched Cobra Kai. That was really good.
Oh,
Yeah,
God.
Cobra Kai's dope. Cobra Kai's
I haven't
dope.
saw I
Cobra
haven't
Kai.
I haven't saw the third season of Cobra Kai yet.
Want me to ruin
I
it for
love
you?
it. Love
Want me to
No.
ruin it for you?
No.
No,
No,
not,
Devin.
not today. Maybe another
If
time.
you're ruining it for him, you're ruining it for our listeners. So no.
Yeah.
At this point, you should have seen it by now.
See, Walt.
You know what?
You're
Anyway,
one of those
Derek.
guys.
See, Walt,
He's
here's the
that
thing,
guy.
right? Here's the thing. Like like you said, old movies. Like, there's a lot of black movies that I haven't seen, man. And I don't know. Like,
Don't-
I've never watched
there's
Color
no
Purple
way.
all the way through.
All right, so we're gonna have to talk about this first off because God is clearly trying to tell you something. There's no way you can be
You're not used to
40
blood
years
from
old
Color Purple.
and have not seen the entirety of The Color Purple.
Yeah. Never,
Oh,
never seen the whole Color Purple.
Derek. Those are where everybody gets their lines from. It's so much stuff and material from Color Purple.
Now I do know some of the lines, I do know some of the material, but I just
Shut up.
no, man.
Well, Derek, I have to give you a pass because
I ain't giving him no pass. Nope.
I don't
It's
I
gonna
don't-
rain on your head.
Derek, I don't like Kool-Aid, so hey.
Yeah.
To
That now.
everyone listening to Five Things Off the Wall, clearly I am the only black cast member.
Devin's
That's a good question, Devin. Like, is there
Yeah.
something black that you haven't been heavily involved?
he said
in?
black.
Well, yeah,
Not
I
good
haven't-
for someone that's not black that's hearing this.
right. But I've never watched. I haven't watched Straight Outta Compton yet. So I know that that's a big thing, but
Okay.
I haven't watched it yet.
I did watch Straight Outta Compton. Yeah, I did.
And to be perfectly honest, I
With you on
like.
that.
All right, so Straight Outta Compton, right?
You were about to say you don't want to see it either, huh?
Well, yeah. The All Eyes on Me movie, the Tupac joint.
Yes.
I haven't watched that neither.
Shouts out to my man Kenny Cross. He's in All Eyes on Me.
And yeah, for some reason I don't like to really watch those type of bio. They're not really on top of my list. Those biopic type movies.
Yeah.
No,
So
but
I-
Straight Outta Compton should be the top of your list.
Why?
That's one of those. That's one of those that's good.
So I'll tell you this. I have not seen what is it, Snowfall. And
Yep.
and I'll tell you why. I just don't like seeing movies that depict, individuals, even though it might be based on a true story, but I just don't like seeing our communities flooded with drugs, by our people. So I stay away.
So interestingly enough, I was looking at something on Instagram today. It's this.
He used to sell drugs.
Huh?
He used to sell drugs.
Who, me?
He used to sell drugs. So what are you talking about?
Who used to sell
No,
drugs?
Derek.
Oh, right. Yeah, yes. Derek did. Yes, Derek was slinging in Georgetown. But anyway, that's not what I was gonna say. What I was gonna say. Shout out to Georgetown. So
Edit,
what I was
Georgetown.
Yeah.
the statute of limitations is over.
No, what
So
you
listen.
mean statute of limitations? I have never.
They've literally made you.
Yo, you wasn't slinging dope in Georgetown?
No,
First off,
no, and no.
Derek, I don't know if your mom is listening to this show, but Mama Williams, let it reflect for the record. Walter, had nothing to do with this. I did not accuse your son of slinging no dope. That was Devin.
Listen, mama know I'm gonna
I
do
had
it.
nothing to do with that. I am not out here tarnishing the Williams name.
So listen, the
Thank
thing
you.
is,
Thank you, Mom.
I was watching something on Instagram
Okay.
today with Vince Staples. And Vince Staples was doing an interview on Hot 97. And
You want to Staple Singers?
yeah, whatever. So you don't know who Vince Staples is before I move forward? All right, Vince Staples is a rapper from California. So the thing that Vince Staples said that was interesting was how he said, Black people, we basically are we basically provide and give trauma. When it comes to different things as far as entertainment goes, a lot of things that sell is traumatic. The top movies that we have, the top music that we have, for the most part, is traumatic. And that's basically what it is that we kind of portray. And what he was getting at was like, why is it that we always have to go ahead and produce something that's so traumatic for us to cling to? Because when you try to do something else that's a little different, it's not really critically acclaimed. That's why it was so important for a show like Atlanta to do what it did, even though there was some traumatic elements in it. But that wasn't really what it was all about. And that was what Vince Staples was trying to get across. Back to what you were saying, Darius.
Yeah. But you know why? Because it's physiological, right? So it triggers those those chemicals in the brain that are related to addiction, right? And so you want to see it again, and you want to continue. You want to consume it, right? Because it's addictive. So
Well, I was gonna say it's more so. It's not because I don't know if it's an addictive thing in all cases. I think it's because that is what has been deemed cool, right? Like that's where the money is. That's where. So
Right.
Where the money resides. Where the money.
We won't do that. I think
you want to hear another Black thing real quick? I don't know where that's from.
Oh,
all right.
Like, I don't know the original meaning to that.
The guy, you never see the car salesman dude?
Well, I see the white guy, but I don't see the black
the black
person.
dude. I happened to see it one time.
no.
Like he said he was.
Black guy was
reside, dude.
Yeah, he said he was trying to trademark that in the whole nine. Yeah, it's crazy. But what I was going to say is, I think when you start talking about capitalizing on, we talked about this before. What is Black and cool?
Out the trunk of the car.
When you start talking about stuff like that, like I'm gonna capitalize on the Black cool. I'm gonna capitalize on. I'm gonna commercialize it. I think bigger picture, the argument could always be made, whether it's conspiracy or not. that stuff is pushed and is constantly put out there because it's designed to keep us mentally in a place. Not necessarily that we're addicted to it, but we're so accustomed to seeing ourselves in that way that and Nate Parker was talking about that actually on Ebro. I was listening to
Shout
that
out to Nate
before.
Parker.
Yeah, before I jumped on the call, I was listening to his interview with Nate Parker and Ebro's interview with Nate Parker, and what he was saying was basically it's not so much how other people see us, it's how when are we gonna start looking at how we see ourselves? That's what's most fearful, to him. Not how other people see us, but how we've been conditioned to see ourselves. And I think when you constantly have that negativity pushed at like this is what you are, this is what you'll always be. I think that's kind of like how you'll always end up kind of drawing to it. You start to resonate with it because it's like that is the identity of blackness. Think about it. All the stuff that we named, Straight Outta Compton, The Color Purple, some of those Kool-Aid, all of those things. Those are kind of what have been become the definition of blackness. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because societally, that's what we've been conditioned to believe wholesale. Now, I'm still a little upset with y'all for not drinking Kool-Aid and watching The Color Purple.
Wait, ho. Who's y'all?
I drink.
The only one who said that was Crystal.
When I said y'all, I meant all of y'all as a whole for the things that you ain't doing.
Listen, I got a better one for you. I used to drink Flavor Aid. Now that's ghetto.
I never liked Flavor Aid, bro. That was disgusting. I never could rock with Flavor Aid. Nah.
Yeah.
Flavor Aid, I can never
Jungle
get with
juice. Jungle juice.
See, that's so racist. We're gonna have to go ahead and move on because I feel like that's a racist story about to happen right now.
Right. Yeah. So we are more. So what you're saying is we're more than watermelon and fried chicken.
Look, I got written up at a job for that.
What's funny? I don't even like watermelon.
Not really. No lie. I got written up at a job because for Black History Month, they were serving fried chicken, Hoppin' John, and collard greens in the cafeteria. And they had a picture of Dr. King in the bottom corner of this celebratory Black History Month menu. Right?
Yeah.
Right.
And I got upset about it. And I sent an email out to the people. And I was like, yo,
this is
what?
Racist.
This is racist. And I was telling the people, I was a trainer at the time. I was telling the people in my training class, I was telling them like, yo, is this crazy? Like, y'all don't think this is crazy? And we were on break. I was just talking about it. And it was like, yeah, that's kind of crazy. Like, yo, we should send an email. Y'all should send an email. So I sent an email to the director of food services. Yeah. And he wrote a letter back and he apologized and said, we got a diversity department for stuff like this, blah, 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 blah. We shouldn't have done it. The menus came down the next day, right?
Yeah.
Maybe a week or so later, I'm in HR because
Really?
Sending that email is misuse of
company
stuff, right? And that's what I said. I was like, but it was a company issue and I did it was all around the company. And they kind of had to let that go because it made sense. But they ended up, and it's crazy because it was a woman of the same colors from the same diaspora as us. I refuse to give her credit to call her black. She pushed for me to get written up and said that she interviewed some of the trainees and someone was offended, according to her, someone was offended because I did not include them in the conversation about how I was offended. I got written up.
Wow, that's crazy.
Well, I just want to say thank you for standing up for the cause, brother.
Brother, look.
Take him off for
that very next day, I put a picture of Huey Newton outside of my cubicle.
Of course you did, because that is who you are and that's what you do.
I had Huey Newton up top.
Yeah.
I had Spike Lee right below him. And then I had, speaking of black movies, John Singleton, rest in peace, brother Singleton, Ice Cube, and I think it was Cuba Gooding from Boys in the Hood. I had that right below it. So I had like the most angry looking black people I could possibly find.
Cuba angry?
Well, in Boys in the Hood, in Boys in the Hood, he
yeah,
was.
Boys in the Hood, yeah.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
In
What were
real
you
life,
saying,
in
Devin?
real life, he's a little extra.
Yeah, I stacked up all
Uh,
my Black Panther books. I stacked them up on my desk. I was like, I'm just leaving them here. Malcolm
Oh my
X.
God, Walt.
I had a situation like that at church some years back where the church I was going to back in New York, it was multicultural. So you had black, white, Spanish, Asian, African, Armenian, all type of you had it really was like United Nations in there. So we was at this fellowship event, and this Armenian guy came up to me, older Armenian guy, right? Comes up to me, he's like, "Hey, Devin, hey man, guess what we got on the table? Guess what we about to eat? We about to eat chicken and watermelon." And at that point, and I looked at him. I'm not gonna say his name, but I looked at him and I was just like, I really don't care. Like, you don't like, are you only telling me this in the excitement that you're telling me in because I'm black? And I actually did ask him this because this is the type of relationship that I had with everybody in church, but I wanted him to know like how crazy
He
that sounded and how excited he was about it. And he couldn't say nothing. He walked off. But
chicken.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, that's how he said it. He was like, because he was like,
We got
chicken. We got chicken and watermelon. Like he really
He
waved me
in front
over.
of your face, like
yo, Devin, guess what we got today?
Celebration. It's a celebration.
Yeah.
It's
So I've experienced some ignorant racism.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
man.
saying? That's what that was.
That's cool. Hey, listen, so speaking of racism, there's a lot that occurred while we were away. One of those things being the election. So yes, we do have a new president.
Uncle Joe.
Yes, Uncle
Yeah.
Biden, and
Uncle
the
Joey.
new Vice President Kamala Harris.
Mhm.
So first
Kamala.
Black Asian woman to hold the position of the vice presidency. So I'm excited about that. But even before they were sworn into office, we had the insurrectionists at the Capitol building. Right?
The Patriots, man. They Patriots. They Patriots. So
That was just too much.
So let's talk about that real quick. And this is all in the same vein. And I think I'm gonna try not to jump on a soapbox here, but this is part of the problem I have and why.
No, go ahead and jump on it.
I won't. I think we as a people, are going to always find ourselves stuck behind the 8 ball a bit, right? Because we believe some of the most ridiculous things, and without realizing, we are kind of defending.
You say we.
People,
what do you mean?
Black people.
Yeah.
I mean black people. We defend things that we think were designed to destroy us in a manner that it supports the people that are presently destroy us. Does that make sense? Like
you have to break that down.
All
right.
No, stop talking around the bush. Just keep.
All right. So
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Get on the soapbox. Say it with your chest, man. Come on.
Boom. We talking about the election.
Yeah.
Dude comes in my store. Brother comes in my store, and he proceeds to want to talk to me about how this is why Donald Trump was protesting the election, and he was calling all of the votes fraudulent because you remember.
This is a brother saying this.
My brother. He said, he said, why would Clyburn say? He said, why? Shouts out to Jim Clyburn too, South Carolina State, stand up. He said, why would Clyburn say? Why would he tell Donald Trump to honor Senator John Lewis, but then at the same time say all your votes count, tell you to go out there and vote? And I'm like, huh? That don't make no sense, sir. What are you talking about?
That doesn't make sense.
None. So I asked him to elaborate. This dude proceeds to go on and say that the Voting Rights Act of 1965 is unconstitutional. Huh? He said, I'm telling you, look up Shelby versus Holder. I said, okay. So I looked it up. It's about giving states the opportunity to do what they've continually done to Black people. have control over the votes and the polling so that they can dictate what jurisdictions are what, right? But he's sitting here defending this. He's defending it like this is how you know it's all unconstitutional. What?
So you mean like redlining and gerrymandering?
Yes, redlining and gerrymandering.
I mean, yeah, so they can do that, but within those jurisdictions or those lines that have been drawn, you have people who have vote. And bottom line is the numbers, you know,
all the numbers.
Biden had the numbers.
Hey, Duke,
he said,
real quick,
real
quick, for those who are listening and watching, everybody is pretty much educated on, you know, a lot of things. But for those who may not know, tell the people what gerrymandering and redlining is.
So gerrymandering and redlining is using the power within your, I guess, city to draw pretty much physical lines, right? And so those physical lines mean all these people in this particular area, like they'll draw it out, they'll leave it out. So black people will be in this area and white people will be all in this area. So they're in my jurisdiction, and they're my constituents. So in terms of the votes, when it comes to voting, you know, they're able to, to make sure that they have the votes that they need to be elected or to stay in office, because they have intentionally drawn these lines to really to make suppress. It Republican, to suppress.
Yeah, basically, pretty much. You know, you're manipulating the boundaries.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's all to gain a political advantage. And
right.
And the way they do it is they push, you know, Black Americans into one space and give us populace but a minimal return for our populist vote, basically.
Yeah, pretty.
So how are we putting that to what this guy is talking about now?
So what he was basically saying, he was trying to call the Voting Rights Act of 1965 unconstitutional because, and he was using Shelby versus Holder as his argument to say this justifies and this validates as to why it's unconstitutional. Sir, that makes no sense whatsoever. It is very constitutional. It's a portion of the act that is being argued to go back to states. And he was saying, you know, why are we the only people where,
you know what,
we have to be approved every 10 or 25 years to vote. I agree. That's a horrible thing. It's a terrible thing. It does need to be made law. But he basically was making zero valid logical sense, but he was just so woke. He was overly woke. And I'm like, dude, politically, we're putting ourselves behind the 8 ball because we're so focused on overthinking.
So I've seen that to be used as a Republican tactic. A lot of, and I am saying Republican because I've had, you know, arguments on both sides, and I've seen back and forth. But what I've seen is a lot of individuals will try to regurgitate what they heard, pieces of what they heard from different places. And it's always go look this up. But when you begin to try to piece it together, as you're saying, well, it makes no sense.
None.
But it sounds good. It sounds like you know what you're talking about.
And that was what was crazy. It didn't sound good at all.
But why did he? I don't understand why they say go look it up. Why don't you just tell me?
But see, this is the thing. The people who say go look it up are the people like, I'm trying to enlighten you. It's kind of like I teach a man a fish. I would give a man a fish, he'll eat for a day. Teach him how to fish and he'll eat forever. It's kind of like expounding upon that principle. If I give you something, you'll hear it. But if you go learn it, you'll retain it. Right? If you go find it for yourself, you'll retain it, because you're not going to believe me just because I said it. But until you see it, that's cool. But if I go look it up and it's from some weird, you know, and he even said I'm a conspiracy theorist. Well, brother, at that point,
but it's also but it's also a way to stop you from your argument in the conversation, because now I'm talking above your head, and so now I seem more intelligent than you, or I know more than you. So now I'm shutting you down, and you're gonna have to go look up what I'm saying, you know, and that's the thing that I've seen you.
And then I'll never see you again, so I can't argue with you later to tell you, sir.
Exactly.
You're an idiot. Right. And he said, we basically need to go to He said we basically need to go to another. We need to establish a sovereign state as a people. That's
As
how
black
we.
people.
Yeah,
Is
as
he
a
going to
black.
be there?
Well, that's what I said to him. I said, brother. I said so. I said, check it out, because where we was at. I said the grocery store. If the grocery store up the street catches on fire, and we're right here, I don't have to see that fire. I don't got to hear that fire. I ain't got to smell that fire. None of that. But if I see people I know and I trust and I believe, if I see them running away from the building and they tell me it's on fire, I'm not going to look up there. I'm just following them because I trust and I believe them. I said,
Right.
so why don't you and why don't other people who believe like you, why don't y'all just go ahead and start making that move? Take the people you believe with you. It's only going to take a few thousand before even a few more thousand go, and then a few more thousand go. Because if I see you prospering and the way that you're telling me is righteous and just and true, I'm going to follow it. Right? Because I want betterment for my people just as much as the next person. But I also believe that what you're saying to me is a tactic used to divide us. It's a tactic used because we get so frustrated with being marginalized that we feel like we got to be smarter than everything, and in our overly smartness or higher level thinking, we end up sounding like idiots. Like,
Pretty much.
Did you say all this to him? What did he say in response?
nah, he had to go because it was other people. I had other customers in the store.
Okay.
So I wasn't fitting to have that conversation with him. He was like, "Yeah, man, it's not really a virus. It ain't really a virus. That's what they call it. It ain't a virus. It's
So
something
what is
else." I don't know. He couldn't tell me. He said, "Look up what a virus is." No lie. That's really what he said. He said, "Look up what a virus is."
So on the vein of having, Black Trump supporters, which it's, you're right. How are we feeling about people like Lil Wayne and Kanye? Are we taking them back?
Nah,
Now, I know why Lil Wayne did what he did.
nah.
Can you stop
Because he's a
saying
coon.
Lil Wayne?
Because he's a
Lil Wayne was in
coon.
that party.
Because he's a coon.
It's no TT. It's no TT in there.
Because
Just
he
Lil.
is a coon.
Lil Wayne was partying.
Yeah,
Lil
can I-
I'm sorry. We're not gonna call him a coon on here.
You don't
okay?
have to. I already done it. I'll call him a coon again.
Oh my god.
Let me ask you a question though, because Trump's administration did pardon some other African Americans. That not in the rap industry or anything like that.
Right.
I mean, not in entertainment. One woman in particular who was in jail. Excuse me. I'm sorry, but she was in jail and she got her sentence like commuted. Maybe I don't know. I'm not gonna say months ago. It could have been like a year ago. But she was black.
Right.
How do we feel about her? Like, do we basically? Because in her mind, I would think that she's like, yo, shout out to Trump and the administration for getting me free.
Yeah.
So do we feel some type of way about her? Like you feel some type of way about Lil Wayne, or
No,
what's
the
the difference?
only thing I would say is if you were like wrongfully imprisoned, then yeah, I mean, I'm cool with that. But if you really did something you ain't had no business doing, you getting pardoned. Come
Did
on,
he-
what's happening here?
Exactly.
Well,
Lil Wayne pled guilty.
And here's the other thing. The difference between the two is the other ones publicly endorsed Trump, and they probably would
Right.
normally.
Right.
So I know everybody knew that Lil Wayne had a case coming up, and shortly after he endorsed Trump, and I knew what it was at that point. I knew he wanted
got that.
Yeah.
He shined up them shoes. He whitened them teeth.
So,
And he
so the
got
woman,
the
so the woman,
shucking and jiving on that stage for that damn fella. And said, "Oh, yes, sir, massa.
I need you to
I
stand up.
say exactly what you need me to say.
Eric, I
if
need you to
get
stand
me
up.
that part." And
Let
that's
me-
exactly
let me-
what he did. He's a
let me,
cool. He shucked and jived for them. He's a
Well,
clown.
well, hold on,
no,
Walt.
I'm not gonna stop.
Hold on. Let me put some let me put some context in this real quick. So the woman who I was talking about, her name is Alice Marie Johnson. All right, and she actually was a lifer with no parole, and she was granted a full pardon by Trump in August of 2020. That's what I was talking about. And that's
You know who I wanted to get a full. Know how I want to get a full pardon?
Joe Exotic.
Nope. Joanne Chestmart.
Joe Exotic.
Joanne Chestmart, aka Asada Shakur. Go ahead and pardon her.
Hey,
She's on the most wanted list, and medical evidence showed that she didn't do what they tried to convict her of. They locked her in a prison with men. Nah, chill.
Let's
I'm not.
this. Can we put that on the American agenda? I mean, I think Biden really he owed the black community a whole lot for getting elected. So
he does. He does.
So
However, that one's not going to make it on the black agenda just because there's too much controversy with that.
I got faith.
Notice,
I think
and you're right, Walt. It is a lot of controversy to that. I'm with you on that though, but yeah, there is going to be a lot of controversy to it. But so what? You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. I agree. But I also don't believe in withholding and holding the black vote hostage in order to get what we want to get accomplished. Right. I don't believe in that.
I'm not saying hold it hostage. I'm saying, like, you know, if it didn't get done in the Trump administration, hey, let's see if we can get it done under this one. Somebody bring the attention, right? Bring it to the attention.
Oh, the attention's out there. The attention's out there, but they're not going to do it because you're actually talking about taking somebody who's on the FBI most wanted list, taking her off like she's nationally wanted.
Anything's possible.
They're not going to take her off.
Anything's possible.
I agree.
Here, listen, the other thing that I wanted to talk about with the insurrectionists or the terrorists, they keep saying insurrectionists. I say terrorists, right? So the other thing about that is the treatment, so the way that they were handled compared to the individuals during the Black Lives Movement during the summer who were, in most cases, protesting peacefully, right? And they were handled with a lot of aggression at the hands of the police and the National Guard. And in this case, what we saw with the insurrectionists, terrorists, is they were, you know, cops were taking, Capitol Police officers were taking pictures with them. Some of them, you know, they said were step right aside to let them walk in. And that, I think that just says a whole lot. I think it was just clear as day that you could see the disparity in how Black people are treated compared to white people in America.
100%. I agree.
I don't think there's anything else to say about it unless y'all want to chime in and say anything.
Nah.
But it is.
We've seen what it was.
It's very blatant. Very blatant.
Yeah, I think that
only people that can't see it are the ones that don't want to see it.
Choose not to.
On that same vein, I do want to go into what we call champ. Right?
Champ of the week. The champ is here. The champ is here.
The champ is here.
So Crystal, tell them.
Champ of the week.
Yeah, tell them what that's about.
So champ of the week, aka the winner of the week, winner.
Where they go, winner?
Is someone who has done something that is obviously just dumb, bonehead, sometimes, dumb criminal stuff, anything, just something that's just, it's like, are you serious? Where's your common sense type thinking? So because we're talking about the insurrection, the guy that I want us to talk about, and I don't know if you guys have heard about him, his name is Garrett Miller of Dallas, Texas.
Of Dallas, Texas.
And
looking him up right
Garrett Miller of Dallas, Texas. So Garrett went on Instagram making verbal threats and having a verbal exchange with a Capitol Police officer saying he planned to hang his neck with a nice rope. Meanwhile, they're out here looking for people to arrest for this insurrection. So he poses, and I would show you but you can go on Instagram. It's on Baller Alert. Shout out to Baller Alert. But it's, the guy is like, he's got it, and he literally is on here, and he's making threats to AOC. Does everyone know who AOC is? Alexandria Ocasio, Cortez,
Yeah.
of New York, and he's pretty much threatening her.
Don't forget Chuck Schumer. He got Chuck Schumer out there too.
I'm here. So he's doing this
And
on
this dude
Instagram.
look a hot mess.
Yeah.
Yes, he do.
Yeah. So the best part
Welcome to
about
the
that
meth
is
lab, boy.
right, the meth.
Welcome to the meth lab.
hot mess.
Oh man.
But the best part about that, the second part to this is, of course, now that he knows that he's caught, and he now is saying, he's giving his apology. He says, "I'm ashamed of my comments." He says, "I was in Washington, D.C. on January 6th because I believed I was following the instructions of former President Trump. And he was my president and the commander in chief.
I love the dry snitching.
Nevertheless, I fully recognize Joe Biden is now the president of the United States,
Right.
and the election is over. Donald Trump is no longer president, and I would not have any reason to continue to follow his lead."
So this dude dropped dime on him.
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
Their lawyers, that's the story that their lawyers are really
Oh
telling.
yeah. Push that out.
Yeah.
there.
So this dude is the champ of the week.
Yes, but so
He's the
here's my
champion.
thoughts on that, right? Here's my thoughts on that. How stupid, right? How stupid do you have to be to think that you're gonna be able to commit? Like we all saw the videos and we saw the people, out there and the ladies, we didn't do anything wrong. We just broke some windows and we were just going to take pictures. Like you're committing a federal offense. All right,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say this is because I'm black that I understand this, but I know
your girl from Tennessee said it was a revolution. They
it's a
stormed the Capitol.
revolution.
What
We
she
stormed
said.
the Capitol. It's a revolution.
with her onion in her hand,
Right. So-
they pushed me down and maced me.
And mace me. You wasn't ready.
Revolution.
So here's my thing. Here's my thing, right?
Wait, Walt, before you say your thing, man. Whoever put the Animaniacs together.
Oh my God.
Oh, that was hilarious.
Yo.
That was hilarious.
Hats
Go
off
ahead,
to that. Hats off to that, because that was epic. But my thing is this, right? I'm not attributing this to the black trauma that we talked about earlier, that I understand this concept. But when you commit a crime against a federal establishment, that is a felony.
Right.
Like that's common sense. That's 1 + 1 = 2 to me.
That's
Right.
it.
And that's what's hitting them right now in their face. You are about to be a felon. What does a felon mean? You can't vote. The very thing that you protesting, saying was stolen from you, you about to lose the right, the privilege, the ability to do it. You about to
lose your
job.
You about to lose your job. Right?
Get this in.
That's that. And then not only that, what's the second thing that they always complain about? These same crazies. They guns. They precious guns. Now you about to lose your ability to legally own or possess any form of a firearm. What?
Good.
You better believe they coming out there like, oh yeah, no, I'm sorry, I didn't mean it.
Listen,
I'm gonna lose my ARs. What?
Listen,
yes.
And here's the thing about it, yo. Like all of this footage, like half of the people. So here's the irony in it, right? So they're running around doing all this with no mask on.
No mask on.
If half of them had a mask on, they probably wouldn't have been able to be.
You wouldn't have been identified. Well, no, they'd have been identified.
That ain't true.
Some would have been identified.
They're pinging those cell phone towers. They're pinging those cell phones.
Not only that, they was able to find some people. Some of them cats who had them tie wraps. They was fully masked up, but they was able to find it because of the stuff that they had on their tactical gear.
And shouts out to their family members who snitched. I love it. I love it. I'm a proud snitch.
Yeah.
Go ahead and tell on them people.
Hey, but here's the crazy thing. I'm up here in Tennessee, and half of the people that's getting arrested is from Tennessee.
Georgia.
Georgia. Tennessee and Georgia.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
what about
Garrett, just to put a little bit more to this Garrett Miller thing, The guy that the Capitol Police officer that he was going back and forth with on social media, that he said he planned on hanging around the noose around the neck, the rope around the neck, was the guy that killed the lady at the Capitol.
Hmm.
And so this is who he chooses to go back and forth with on social media.
Look, play stupid games, win stupid prizes, man. That's my logic on this
Yes.
one. I feel like you cannot be this dumb. It just doesn't make any sense to me. Like, I don't understand it. Like, you can't be this slow your whole life.
So, can we add somebody else to the champ of the week? I would like to add somebody.
Let's do it.
I want to add
So we got
Enrique Torino. Do y'all know who that is?
looking him up now though.
Enrique Torino is the leader of the Proud Boys.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Now he took over for Gavin McInnes, who
Okay.
was the leader of the Proud Boys, a white man actually from the UK.
Tario. It can't be Torino's Tario.
Tario, forgive me, Enrique Tario. Yeah. But Gavin McInnes, he retired. He stepped away, and Enrique was the one who actually took over. So he's the face of the Proud Boys. Latin cat, a brown brother from Florida.
Dumb.
But what's crazy, the reason I put him on here is because it then came to the attention of everybody in America that this dude is a darn government informant.
I was just looking.
This thing says that this dude was one of the more prolific informers and has helped law enforcement snatch up multiple people during these extremist hate crime acts. Meanwhile, you are the leader of one of the biggest known extremist right-wing groups in America right now. You have Proud Boys you have known Proud Boys who was at the insurrection storming the Capitol that he's the leader of. And you mean to tell me this dude is an informant?
Listen.
Hey, listen.
Yeah.
It says law enforcement officials and the court transcript contradict Tario's denial because he denied it. He said, I don't recall.
Yeah,
any
he
of
said,
this."
yeah, I don't recall any of it.
He says, in a statement of Reuters, the former federal prosecutor in Tario's case, Vanessa Singh Johannes, confirmed that he cooperated with local and federal law enforcement to aid in the prosecution of those running other separate criminal enterprises ranging from running marijuana grow houses in Miami to operating pharmaceutical fraud schemes.
So you know who he is. He's basically James Spader from the Blacklist.
Yo.
I don't watch that.
That's my show.
I've never
right
watched
there.
that show.
That's who he is right now.
That's my show right there. Hey, listen, I'm just mad.
Don't tell me.
I'm mad at whoever blew his cover. You know what I'm saying? Like, he could have been there for the cause.
Well, here's what happened. What happened was he got caught up for
And
something.
then there's more.
Yeah, he got caught up for something and they snatched him up, and he was an informant ever since. Apparently, he's been an informant since like 2012 or something like that. And the court documents that came out, they're public record. Anybody can get them joints unless it's ordered to be sealed. Well, what else you got?
Nah, it's just funny. You got the paperwork on that, dude.
Yeah.
Yo, I wanna
see one of the idiots.
I wanna
Go ahead.
add one last person to the champ of the week, and
Me too.
that is the baby.
Oh God.
The baby.
No.
If you do not
Bruh.
know, baby
Bruh.
No.
Bruh.
is
I
listen.
swear, I will mute you. I will mute you. If you jump out
so
this,
Derek.
Derek, why are we adding the baby to the champ of the week this week?
So the baby has jumped on the Throw Baby remix,
Throw baby.
and they made a video. So
Yes,
in
they
this
did.
video, they have the baby surfing on semen dripping down a woman's mouth or throat.
Throat.
Mhm.
Like, who did not tell this dude that that's not a good look? Like,
Look,
I don't
man.
want to be that close.
Look.
It's his.
Look. This is the same dude who was rocking adult diapers to concerts. Because that's a part of his act. He's the baby.
The
So he
baby.
was rocking adult diapers. So, nothing is off limits for him.
Yo,
So how you gonna say you don't want to be that close
That-
and it's
that
your
should've-
own?
Nah,
nah.
that's not
It's
how
your
that
own
works.
semen. What are you talking?
That is not how that works.
Go
That's
back
not
and
how
It
that's not how any of this works.
watch the video.
No, people don't go fondle their own dookie once it leaves their bum hole. This is just that's nasty. No,
Some
Right.
people like to get pooped on.
exactly. But
Yeah.
that doesn't make it okay.
It makes
No,
it okay for
that's
them,
different.
It
subject to
could be okay.
interpretation.
Nah, see, stop.
That's-
What I'm
that's-
not gonna allow y'all to do is justify this
That is-
dude.
Look,
That
man.
is foolishness. That's foolishness. That is complete and utter foolishness.
That's sick.
Like, it is beyond disgusting. And he's not the only one. Whoever the light skinned fella is in it too, this dude
Yeah.
literally dove in it. Like,
Well,
he
that's
jumped the whole-
that's his song.
Why you had to say dove in it?
Yo, inappropriate on so
Right.
many
You
levels.
diving in a pool of
Yeah,
semen.
let me ask y'all a question. I'm gonna ask. This is a question for Derek and Walt. If somebody offered you $1 million,
Oh God.
would you dive in a pool? Would you dive in a pool of horse semen?
All money ain't good money, no sir.
Said $1 million.
$1 million.
No.
$1 million.
No.
No.
You said goat semen?
No,
Hell
horse semen.
yeah.
Horse semen.
There's no
Yeah. Only for $1 million, Derek?
N-O. No,
Hell yeah.
no, no.
Yeah.
You diving in, huh?
Dad, what you doing? What you doing?
No, I'm not doing it.
Thank you.
All right.
Dog, all money ain't good money.
Nah, man,
1.5. 1.5.
All money ain't good
I'm
money.
right.
All money ain't
2
good
million.
money.
2 million.
All money ain't
You-
good money.
Do I hear 3? Do I hear 3?
I hear it's time to
Can I
move
get-
on.
Nah, I'm good, man. I'm all right. I don't know.
I hear it's time to move on.
I'm just kidding too. That's just for the humor.
So I have a question then, Devin. Why was that only a question for Derek
Oh yeah, Chris.
and Walter?
Because the
Oh, I
Me
don't
Too
know.
movement is real.
Oh, okay.
Nah, Crystal is a part
Because
of this
women, because women, are okay with being around semen or their own.
No, because the Me Too movement is real. And he didn't want to seem like he was being sexist
No, Crystal is a
Oh.
part.
or
That was-
misogynist.
No, I think to
Well-
leave her out was sexist. I think
You know what? Subconsciously, that could have been the case. And if that is, I'll take the heat for that. My fault, my beautiful women. I don't mean no harm. But now that you open the door, Crystal, would you dive into a bath of horse semen for $1 million?
Horse semen.
Yeah.
horse for 1 million.
1 million.
Horse for 1 million, Alex.
That sounds like Fear Factor, doesn't it? Because doesn't he give people like cow balls to eat?
Yeah.
Did you eat cow balls? You would
Nah,
eat the balls of a cow.
Not mine.
The way you say that.
Look,
Would you eat the balls of a cow?
Walt is the one.
Do you see how uncomfortable water is right now?
Y'all are utterly disgusting. Oh my gosh. What
Yo,
is
Walt-
happening here?
Yo,
Yo, listen,
Give
Walt is not
y'all,
here.
y'all a little bit of time off and you come back crazy.
Walt is not here for any of it.
I don't even understand this.
I
Like,
cannot
we weren't
wait.
even gone that
to go
long.
back.
How did we get here?
I can't wait to come back to that part of the show and watch. Walt,
How did we get here?
Walt was so quiet.
You all right, man? You all right?
No,
I
where
feel
are we
like-
going? What is next?
I would
That is
definitely
just-
dive in horse semen for $1 million.
That is
All right, that's
so
what's up.
disgusting to me.
Hey, you didn't say I had to put my head in it, but I was
Jeez,
up to about
my
right
bad.
here. I was about right here.
No, because you got to submerge your whole body in it.
No, that wasn't a part of
Yeah,
the
you got to dive all the way in.
I mean, Crystal, you could take a shower right after. He didn't say how long you got to be in it.
As long as I could put goggles on or something, I don't want it in my eyes.
But what if it goes in your mouth? Oh!
I can keep my mouth. I can keep my mouth together, but my eyes, I don't know.
So for the record, I have the ability to
Like,
mute all
My
of y'all.
thing
And I
is,
swear,
going into.
if we don't move on, I'm gonna mute everybody on this
I'm
call,
just saying.
and I'll move on myself. I'll move it on by myself. I will move on because y'all
Oh.
disgusting. I do not understand how we got here. How?
Yeah.
Wait,
How did we get here?
Here's my thing. When I dive into like a pool of water, my eyes are automatically open. So if I dive in some other kind of fluid, I can't say my eyes aren't going to automatically open. So I have to have goggles on to make sure don't nothing get in there.
What's next?
Well, don't do that. You haven't answered the question yet.
I did, as I said no 17 million times.
So
Profound.
you wouldn't go
Water's
for
not-
17 million?
No.
Water's not submerging
No.
himself in any semen. And
No.
he's not eating no cow balls. All right, come on, let's go.
So
Oh,
Walt,
my
you're not gonna submerge yourself in the waters of Lake Minnetonka?
Ask me one more question like that again. See if I don't. See if you won't be on mute. See if you won't be on mute. Okay? Y'all gonna make me start cussing.
But wait,
My mom tried. My mom
my
tried.
question is, you are going to be, but Walt, here's my thing. You and Devin do start.
Thank you. That's God trying to tell us something. Crystal was muted. I didn't do it. The computer did it for her.
All the
Ha.
time, right?
Let's
You guys-
move on.
The next,
Crystal, you're all
I'm
choppy.
coming back, whatever. The next phase of your Spartan race, I don't care. The next phase, being cowballs.
I'm not doing
So,
it.
well, are you going to ruin it for Devin? You're going to ruin it for Devin?
Ask
Because you
Devin.
can't do
Ask
it?
Devin if I don't mind saying no. I ain't doing that, and I
So
will
hold-
walk away.
So hold on, Chris. Let me make sure I got it right. So what you're saying is that we run in the Spartan race, right? And
Yeah,
and
like
we got,
Fear Factor.
we got Spartan race. We got and part of the obstacle is that you got to eat cow balls before you go to the next obstacle.
Yes.
All right, so here's the thing, right? So, in all seriousness, if it was just a regular race, like if I'm not competing for any money, I don't see myself doing that. However, if I was on Fear Factor, I probably would
Have
do
to
that.
pass.
No, I'm not gonna pass. Yeah, I'm not passing. Because here's the thing, right? Like if I'm on Fear Factor, knowing what Fear Factor
The
is all
show
about.
is not even on anymore.
No, but it's not on anymore, Derek. I mean,
Why does
the
that
thing
matter,
is-
Walt?
Well, hold on. If you go to Florida, though,
Y'all about to make me start burping.
you know they have if you go to Universal Studios, they still have a Fear Factor. They have a Fear Factor section special in Universal Studios, so you can actually compete. So they still have those type of things going on. So if I'm going to be on that, I'm fully aware of what it is I'm getting into.
Yeah.
I mean, they might have. It might be roasted.
Look at Walt's face.
Well, I mean, they might be roasted. I mean, you might be able to put some habanero sauce, some hot sauce, or
It's
something.
hot sauce on the EBI.
I mean, Walt, don't you eat chitlins?
Hell
hot
no.
Put some hot sauce on them.
Listen. Let's keep it going because Walt is so uncomfortable.
I know.
Right now. So for us this week.
So you say it again, Devin?
I said, what else you got for us this week?
So I have a question I want to ask you fellas. And of course, I'm the only female on here, so I'm a little outnumbered. But I wanted to ask a double standard type question.
All right.
Okay.
Yep.
So in dating,
Okay.
right? When you were dating, all these men are married women. All these men are married, so they're off the market. But fast forward or rewind back to when you weren't.
Okay.
How do you feel about your partner having? Well, I'll say this. What is the limit for your partner to have previous sex partners?
So in other words, how many bodies?
Yes.
How many bodies?
How many
It's
bodies?
two.
What's
Or
acceptable?
Do you care about the bodies?
What's acceptable? Do we care about it, or what's
What's
an
acceptable?
acceptable number?
I think there's a lot of layers to that. I'll start with that. I think there's a lot of layers to that. I think it could be as simple as saying the number doesn't matter as long as the context is understood. You know what I mean? If you was out there prostituting, yeah, I don't know that I could be okay with that. But if it was a thing where it's like, all right, you were young and you were stupid and you were living your life and doing what young people do when they live their life, I mean, okay, but if you're 30 and you got like 900 bodies, it's like
900.
yeah.
So
See, I think it would for me personally. It would one. I don't want to know a number, but I think it would have to be some ridiculous number that mathematically I can't even comprehend how you could get to that point in life.
so for me,
In life. Oh my God.
Yeah.
for me, I don't think it matters. I wouldn't want to know either. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't have to tell me. Like it's not a big thing. My
You
thing,
no, back up. Hold on. You just misspoke. You said it doesn't matter, but then you just said I wouldn't want to know, which
Right,
yeah,
means it does,
because
I
it's not a
mean,
which
big
means that
it's
it
not a big
does
deal.
matter.
No.
yeah, I mean, I wouldn't want to know because it's not like Walt said. It's not a bit like you don't
Yeah.
have to tell me that. Like I'm not concerned with that. Now, what I am concerned with is, if you've been with, you know, 900 dudes or how many dudes and it's ruined and now you got to do vaginal rejuvenation.
It's ruined.
Oh,
It's ruined. Oh man, it's ruined.
really?
Look at that, it's ruined.
Is that really a thing? Is that
So
really a thing?
again, I
Is
think
that really a thing? Just tell me that.
I don't know. You're the only one with a vagina on this show. How is we supposed to
Hey,
know?
Crystal, can you ask the question again?
So, do you care about how many bodies
Mhm.
you're
When you were single,
when you're
did you care
single?
about? Yeah,
When you
did you
were
care
dating
about how many
someone,
bodies?
what did that determine how serious you would get with the person? I guess I could say it that way. Did you care about the bodies? And if you did, what was like your stopping point? Like, okay, wait a minute now. Okay, so I can deal with
Well,
five,
well,
but you
well.
at
Here's
six.
here's the thing. Like that, I think that's a hard question to ask because I don't really think that women are going to really give
So you don't think it'll
the.
be honest? Why
Well,
not?
I
If they
don't, I
have a
don't,
lot of bodies, they're not gonna be honest.
I don't. That's what I'm saying. I don't know. So it's one of those things where putting a number on it may not be the most effective thing. So I may not know how many bodies this woman may have.
Hey, wait,
Um,
all right,
But
hold
what
on.
if you heard? What if you
Yeah,
heard about this
yeah.
stuff?
What if she
so have I
said? What
heard
if she was
so
like? What if she just came out and was like, y'all just having a conversation, and she's like, I've been with 50 dudes.
all right, and I've been like I've probably been with 50 women too. So what's up?
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? It's one of those things is no, in all seriousness, like
yeah,
it really depends on the context. Like if I'm really serious about this person,
right,
then that conversation is going to be had because it would be foolish of me to be like, yo, I'm not gonna rock with you because of the stuff that you was doing, knowing I was doing
right.
things too. But that's if I'm already in my mind thinking, all right, this could be serious, as opposed to me just trying to slide off. If I'm trying to slide off, I already have in my mind that my first intention is not going to be wifing this woman up. I'm just
Right.
trying to slide off because I know that she gets down and I'm trying to get down with her.
Just
So
trying
that's
to
the thought.
just trying to
So
add another
Crystal,
tally to the body count,
so
man.
Crystal,
So it does matter.
No.
Crystal, same question to you though. Like, what I'm saying? Does it matter how many dudes a dude has been?
First off, you said that all wrong. Rewind. You said does
How
it
many
matter how
dudes
many
have been with
dudes a
other
dude?
dudes?
Nah.
Yeah, that's exactly what you
Do you?
said.
I mean, do you? Does it matter how many bodies a dude has?
No. And this kind of takes me back to that conversation we had.
Isn't this the porn star
Yeah.
question kind
Porn
of though?
star. I was gonna say this takes me back to us talking about the porn star situation. I don't really care how many, but I do care who.
Right. See, that's what I'm saying. So
Yeah.
So
that's
you
what
just don't want
context
him to bring
matters.
him nothing
I
home.
think that's what Chris. That's what I'm. That's think I'm what I'm trying to say. Also, I think it's
Yeah,
a matter
context is
of
what matters because we talked
who.
about this, or I know I've said it before. We all kind of said it before. Like, if you got, let's say you got 10 bodies, right? And then you got 10 before college and then 10 at college, during college, right? 10 for most people, if you start doing, depending on the size of the school, 10 bodies can be like 10 bodies a state might seem like nothing, but realistically, you're more than likely going to run into one of those past 10, right? If you go back for homecoming. So if you got 20 bodies, you got 30 bodies, 40 bodies, whatever it is, whatever your number is, depending on the context around it, depends on one, how serious our relationship is going to be. And then two, it depends on how we move around. You know, so you got 30 bodies in college. We're not going back to your homecoming. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. Because and here's why.
Why not?
Here's
I
why.
remember that.
Yeah, no,
I remember that conversation.
honest to goodness. And here's why I say that. Because one, people don't let you live down your past. Right? People don't let you live down your past. I don't want to have to constantly have to defend my girl or my wife at a homecoming
Here we go.
because it's the constant side eyes and like, oh man, look, you remember when she was with?
How you gonna know the side eyes though? Like,
Because
you
you
know that they're gonna be side eyes.
even if they're not really doing it, in my mind, I feel like that's what it is. Just because we all know, we're not gonna sit here and act like, don't sit here and act like people won't allow you rather to live outside of your past, right? Your past, we might do it. We might be able to let people grow. But
you're saying, all right. So you're saying that as if somebody's gonna run up to you like, "Yo, your wife was a whore back in the day." Like,
But he
what?
don't
a
like
few drinks. Let's not act like there ain't gonna be some. That's what.
Like you
If
had
it-
that.
nobody
Like,
doing
like,
that.
ain't
I've
nobody-
never had anybody like.
I don't think anybody's doing that.
Nobody-
I've never had
never.
anybody do anything like that to me,
Like-
but we have all seen people get a little sauced, a little inebriated, and they don't care that the person's spouse or significant other is in proximity. They get a little too tipsy. They gonna run up and be like, "Oh, what's going on? I ain't seen you in forever, whatever." I've seen that happen. I've had that happen.
Yeah, but that's different from what
Yeah.
you're saying. I mean, you basically are making it seem as if somebody's gonna be like, "Yo, your wife was a whore."
I do know some people who have said that about other women I know, and their men.
in front of their significant other.
In front of in front of their husband. Nah,
Yeah.
you have not seen that.
No,
Will.
I've never seen it.
So you have not.
I've never seen it. I've never seen it in front of their husband, but I do know people who have that conversation. And these are close circles. So it's like if somebody was to say something about me around one of you all, it's reasonable to expect that it could get back to me, right? Something that
Yeah.
was disparaging, right?
Okay,
So that's what I'm
yeah.
saying. So like I've heard those conversations in very close circles.
So I got a question for Crystal. So why is the who important for you? Is the who important for you because you afraid that he might be bringing some STD back to you or something like that?
So my main things are, deal breakers for me. If you ever been with one of my friends, it's a no. I don't care if it was just a one night stand. I don't care if they used to like you. No, that's my
If they
one.
used to like you, what?
If they
Hold
used to
on,
like my other friend, if they
Yeah.
used to like my friend, yeah, I don't know. So okay, that's a no. The other reason is, and I know, please forgive me for whoever is about to hear this. I don't want to be with a man that's ever been with another man.
Oh,
That's a preference.
So,
Yeah.
but I don't want anybody to feel like I'm gay bashing or anything like that. I am absolutely not. I don't care.
Sounds like you are. I
Your
mean,
sexual preference. I'm fine.
well,
I just don't want to date
why?
anybody that's ever been with a man.
it sounds like
And
you
why?
are.
And why is that? How come?
Because number one, I am, and Devin, you know this because me and your wife are very much alike.
Yes.
The
You're
visual,
trying to get the visual. The visual you can't get
visual
past.
is there, and I just can't get past that.
How
And now my question is now, were you the top?
is it? How is it?
Questions.
And if you're the bottom, it's a problem because
You got a lot of
Time out. Time out.
it just
Time out.
spirals. It just spiders into so many different.
Time out. How is it that visual bothers you more than this Throat Baby remix video? That is so freaking inappropriate, and it is so epically like they're very similar. It's so similar.
It's not very similar.
It's a dude
Look, the baby
playing.
is not.
It's
He's
a
not
dude playing in semen. What?
in his own. Maybe
It's
in his
not.
own.
It's Jesus. It's just disgusting.
Yeah.
It's a virtual semen.
Listen,
Virtual semen.
Oh man, this has been a,
Ain't
been a
nobody
great.
wrong.
This has
Yeah,
been a
so I
great
don't.
show back.
No.
This is yo, this
Yes.
was fun. This was fun. I really enjoyed it tonight, man. I appreciate
Yes.
y'all. To all our listeners who are coming back to join us, we appreciate you hanging with us. And for those who are listening for the first time, make sure that you subscribe, follow us, listen to us. We're on YouTube. We're on
YouTube.
all major platforms for podcasts.
Yep.
Come holla at us.
Subscribe to our YouTube page. We need that.
That's
Yes.
right. 5 things off the wall. All right. Hey, listen, in everything you do, take positivity with you.
Hey.
Absolutely.
Peace, beautiful people.
Adios.